Hi, I'm Summer Sharad. I'm a Vice President of Employee Benefits and People Strategy Consulting at Insurance Office of America. When you think about HR consulting, what word or images come into your mind? Maybe it's compensation planning. Maybe it's redesign work. Maybe it's HR technology, that's a big one. Headhunters, assessment processes, team buildings. There's a number of different versions of what people think about when they think about HR consulting. This is the image that comes to my mind when I think about HR consulting. I began my career at Deloitte & Touche in the human capital practice 20 years ago in New York City. Ever since then, I've taken on roles that are HR generalist roles, organizational effectiveness roles, leadership development roles, and HR consulting roles. And I have enjoyed that career so much. So today I'm here to really help you understand, as you lead your organization in the HR function, when is it sensible to engage an HR consultant and what might that look like from a tangible perspective? Today I want you to walk away knowing when to hold them and when to fold them when it comes to HR consulting. Situation one is the easiest to understand because something tangible presents itself. So let's say you're going through a merger and acquisition and you're worried competitors are going to start taking your talent during these times of change. You may need to look at a new retention strategy and change management strategy. That's a great time to engage an external consultant. Financial pressures. Maybe your market share is shrinking and you need to understand how to cut corners or be more innovative when facing the market. You need to think about new ways of just generally approaching your business. How about leadership changes? Maybe a CEO or high-level executive is retiring in the next year, and we know that there's going to be a domino effect of changes that come after that. That's a great time to think about a talent HR consultant to really help you understand how to think about workforce changes and workforce planning in general. A legal issue is an easy one. When you have a tough legal issue and your in-house counsel is just scratching their head about what's the right thing to do, that's an easy one to know. You need to pick up the phone and call a really strong HR consultant. Another example is if you're feeling like process is getting in the way of people being their best and you're just not sure. People do things the way they've always done them before and you're not sure how to just make it better and more efficient and more meaningful to people. You need to bring in somebody who can look at restructuring processes, which sometimes can drive transformational change. One other huge reason to bring in an HR consultant is when you see talent departure. So turnover is up and you are not sure based on exit interviews, whether it's comp strategy or total rewards or benefits, work environment, culture, leadership problems. What is driving people out the door? You really can't afford another day without engaging an HR consultant to help you figure out the root cause of people leaving and, most importantly, how to fix it in a way that's meaningful to your company. Situation two, when you may need to engage an HR consultant, is really when you're caught in the maze. You're going somewhere every day and you're making progress, but you're not really sure if you're headed in the right direction. You're in that maze. So a good thing to do when you're trapped in not being sure if you're getting to the big picture outcomes that you want is to engage an HR consultant to do an organizational assessment. I'm a big believer in doing these every 1 to 2 years. Really, ultimately, this is a gap analysis to help you understand where are things today, what is going on when it comes to structure, work processes, leadership practices, people practices, and total rewards and all of that. Where are we today versus where we want to go tomorrow in terms of business outcomes, revenue, ROI, all of the things that we need to keep our business healthy. So an organizational assessment is a really easy diagnostic way to take a look at current state versus future state and identify those gaps and very tangible recommendations that will help move you from here to there. All right, for those HR folks out there who feel like they're just running in a hamster wheel day after day because they just have too much to do, they have to run faster and faster, that may be a reason to engage an HR consultant to simply offload basic mundane tasks to somebody who enjoys that work and to free yourself up to do the more high impact work for your organization. So you really need to understand if the right people are doing the right work, and a great HR consultant can help do some benchmarking for you to help you look at what's being done outside the organization, and then give you some ideas for where there's redundancies, where there may be room for efficiency, where there may be other areas to offload. So this really becomes, you spend a little bit to really save a lot in the big picture, because you'll find more cost-effective ways to break away from basic tasks and to do the more high impact work. Situation 3, I don't want to relate to that because quicksand is kind of scary, but this is similar to the maze and the hamster wheel phenomenon, and it may be relatable, but at some point, you know, the important strategic pieces of your business have to be taken care of before it's too late. I've known many organizations that say, well, we can't afford to do it differently. This is the best we can do. Frankly, I listen to that and I see them going below the quicksand, because at some point, you're not going to be able to sustain your business in the long haul. What got you here will not get you there. So engaging an HR consultant, maybe for those strategic items that are sitting on the to-do list, like diversity and inclusion, that's not a training effort, that's a transformational change. And that is a big item that companies can't afford to live without. Get somebody outside who can help you with that. Compensation benefits strategy, that is a backbone of the workforce, because as much as people love culture and environment, they need to feel like they're fairly paid and they're fairly rewarded for all of their work. And if they don't, that's a huge hot button that makes people walk out the door. So you want to always be ahead of that, not going below the quicksand on that. Employee and leadership development programs are really big ones that just sit on the to-do list and people never get to them, right? But that's a huge investment in people that people crave. Everyone wants to know that they can reach their potential. And if there's no infrastructure in their organization, whether that be small and grassroots efforts or big glamorous type, events and experiential learning, it doesn't matter. They need to feel like they can grow in the company and feel some connection to their broader path as a person in their career. And finally, team building and culture. Nope, that is not one you can let sit on the to-do list, because without culture, you're not going to have a solid workforce. You will have a transitional workforce who is only half-heartedly invested, giving half of their best efforts. So you want people who come to work and give that discretionary effort, and you will gain so much more for your organization. So not letting these items sit on that to-do list is pretty key to avoid going below the quicksand. Situation 5, I know there's some of you out there, you're awesome and you're crushing your HR initiatives. You have an amazing culture. Everybody loves to work for you. Guess what? You may still need an HR consultant too, because what if you want to go from good to great? That's one of my favorite books. But there's always opportunities to take a look at your HR scorecard and make sure that you're measuring the right things, that the right people are doing the right work, and that you, again, have that purview into where you want to be in the future. Because maybe you're great today and you're crushing it, but maybe you're leaving revenue and market share on the table because you're not continuously evolving your HR strategy. So regardless of which caricature you may have related to most, whether that be the hamster or the quicksand or the maze, broken bone, or crushing it, really a good HR consultant can help you determine not only who you are today and bring clarity to that, but to help you become the employer you want to be tomorrow. So when I think about it, it's like having a good personal trainer. You may be perfectly healthy and fit and do your cardio every day, but when you have a good personal trainer by your side, there is no question you're gonna up your game in any areas that you seek to. It's just that way. When you put clarity and commitment and action and measurement around whatever you find important, you seem to make improvements. And that is certainly the role of an HR consultant. You just need to be very clear, again, about who you are as a business leader and where you want your business to be. And an HR consultant is going to really take you from good to great. All right, this is great information, Summer Sherrod. What do I do now? Because now I really know I need help. Maybe more help than I thought I needed. Well, lo and behold, you don't have to go scouring LinkedIn to find a great HR consultant. You don't need to go asking 20 of your HR friends. I am always a resource to any of our clients, our prospects, the HR community at large. I'm really well connected, but more important, I know HR like the back of my hand. I've sat in those roles. I love strategic HR work, and I enjoy connecting organizations with the right type of people that can help them. So you know where to find me. You can email me, text me, call me. My information is attached, and I look forward to continuing to be a resource to you and educating folks out there so they can bring the best out in their organizations. Thanks so much for joining us today. Best.